thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Tim, and I'm going to be your MC for tonight. So we're all here today for the strategies to achieve $10,000 monthly passive income. Isn't that great? Imagine this extra income, right? So we at Syfe, we believe that building wealth shouldn't be a mystery or a full-time job. It's about simple, smart strategies to make your money work for you. So let's get the energy up, guys, tonight. Turn to the person next to you and say, I am ready to make my money grow. Love the enthusiasm. So, without further ado, we have a packed agenda tonight. We have Mr. Parak, our group head of risk. He will be giving the introduction about Syfe, our technology platform. We have Mr. Kevin Lee, our general manager as well, and of course, Morton Lowe, our investment advisory lead. So, without further ado, let's get started. And of course, we have coffee, tea, and wine as well, and we will be serving food at the end of the session as well. Thank you.
Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. So yeah, I think first, like, who is Syfe? I can see some familiar faces who already know us for a long time, but definitely I can see new faces as well. So I'll cover a quick introduction of who we are, what we do, how are we different. I think for most of at least the new clients that we have here. So we are a digital investment platform. What does it mean? We help clients manage their wealth. We have different types of solutions across asset classes. But as Tim was alluding, the whole idea or the vision or mission of Syfe is to make investing accessible for everyone. So we create a digital solution where we bring our own expertise from our past experiences and create a simple solution, but still sophisticated from a technology and investment perspective, but simple for people to use and build their wealth. We are APAC's largest digital wealth player. So as a company, we were born out of Singapore from about 6 years ago. Currently, we manage more than $10 billion in assets with more than 250,000 users. So we are still, I would say, relatively new in Hong Kong, about 1.5 to 2 years old. But in Singapore, we have been around for 6 years. We cover 7 to 8% of adult population in Singapore. So we have a huge penetration there. In Hong Kong, we have been growing pretty fast in the last year and a half. And some of these sessions are a way for us to interact with our old clients, but also help new clients know about us, know about new ways, and how all of you guys can help and manage their wealth better. So yeah, as I was saying, like, we are licensed and operational across 3 markets now. Singapore, our home market, Hong Kong about 3 years ago. Recently, we made an acquisition in Australia. We acquired a listed firm. It was the second, third largest digital broker there. So now we are operational across 3 big markets in Asia. It's built by the best. So we come across, myself, I spent like 14, 15 years at UBS. Similar to the founders, similar to other people across Morgan Stanley, Schroders, McKinsey. So we come across from a lot of us from traditional, deep finance as well as tech background. We have a team of close to, and this number is growing, probably now 250 plus people across the regions. So we're not a small company, but yes, I think we are still in the early days of growing in Hong Kong. Now, I think what do we offer and what is our value proposition and how are we different? We like to put it in simple ways, like what we call 3 A's. So the first mission is to just provide simple access to various instrument types that exist in the market, simplify it, make it easy for people to get access. But at the same time, because the universe is so huge, all of us who are not living or trading by the day, we need advice. And a lot of us don't seek advice because it's not easy. We are not naturally built to go out and seek advice. So we make it in a way which is very easy for you to either digitally seek advice or speak to someone in our team. But at the same time, I think the last one, affordability, is super important. We all, coming from our traditional background, we know how much fees are embedded there, how much fees have been charged by pretty much all the big houses, and for their own reasons, because of the human touch, because of the nature of the business. But us building this digitally, we can significantly cut down those costs, but at the same time use our experiences to build products that are similarly sophisticated in nature. So from a fee perspective, I'm sure most of you will be familiar. Like a typical mutual fund will cost like 1.5% to 2% management fee. Our fees are maximum 65 basis points, or 0.35 to 0.65%. So in some cases, depending on AUM, it's like 1/5 of typically what a mutual fund will charge as well. Now, what do we offer? We want to kind of put it in a way where effectively, like how we see ourselves as 3 different verticals. Effectively, we are trying to build a business which is anything to do with investing. If you have surplus cash in the bank, we have cash management solutions, very innovative, and we'll cover some of it in the later section, where some of it provides you daily liquidity, some of it is pretty much like a fixed deposit service, which will provide better rate than the banks. So anything to do with your savings, anything to do with liquid cash, idle cash, cash management solutions. On the right is brokerage, which I think a lot of you will be familiar with, which is pretty much a DIY platform. You decide where to invest, how to invest, you pick the stocks. And the middle one, which is where I think we differentiate ourselves and completely make it a holistic platform, is we can manage portfolios on your behalf as well. So if you don't have the know-how, don't have the time, don't have the expertise, we can help. So with the advice, with the access, we can effectively create portfolios. We have our own portfolios. We have an investment team, as I was saying, across big institutions from the past. We manage those on your behalf with 1/5 of the cost that you would typically pay in a traditional setup. Today's session, and we will not go into the whole portfolio suite, but today's session is about passive income. So we want to focus a bit more on the cash and income suite. We have equity-based portfolios as well, which we have been running for a long time, generating double-digit returns. But I think in today's session, we'll like to focus on this segment and how effectively you can generate passive income, especially in current high interest rate environment. So I think typically those are the 4 portfolios, and again we'll cover in more depth a bit later. Available in HKD, USD, so you can fund in either currencies, you can get exposures in either currencies, which can generate you income somewhere between 4% to even 8.6%. I think the last thing for me is why Syfe, and I think this is a question, and even in the last few minutes of conversation, this is the first thing, like, okay, who is Syfe, why Syfe, is my money safe? I think I want to emphasize a bit on that. We are an SFC regulated firm. We have the licenses of Type 149, which allows us to manage money, to deal in securities. We have been licensed for a few years, and similarly licensed in Singapore and Australia with the relevant regulator. As a company, we are a 6-year-old company and profitable. I think some of you may understand a digital firm, young digital firm, being profitable is a big statement. A lot of companies out there, and some of you may have heard about virtual banks, still burning money and building the business. We are a profitable firm. I think the third and fourth is about partnerships. We work with the best asset managers that you can think of: BlackRock, PIMCO, Templeton. We build our portfolios, we work with them, create something unique. So some of the partnerships that we had with PIMCO, for example, was the first they have ever done in Asia. Similarly with BlackRock, we are looking into something launching with them which is not accessible to retail in the past. So we are working with them, but to create differentiated solutions, to make it, again, to bring something which in the past might not be easily accessible, might not be easily affordable to people, to everyone and anyone, and might only be available to ultra high net worth clients. We are bringing those solutions to everyone. And again, from a safety perspective, the money that each of you put is segregated. We use HSBC as our cash custodian. Every client who onboards, and we'll go through a bit of the app demo as well, has a unique client number. With HSBC, money sits there, easily identifiable. And the last, I think, which is super important, I think there are a lot of other similar digital platforms as well, especially on the brokerage sides. But I think one thing which is very important, sometimes we underestimate, is the value of like a simple digital experience. Remove the noise, remove the analysis paralysis, keep things simple, and that's what I think we believe we are quite strong at. So I think I stop here. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'll pass on the mic to Kevin.
Thank you, Ajit. So first of all, welcome everyone. I'm the General Manager and Head of Hong Kong, Kevin. Prior to joining Syfe, I headed digital business across APAC for Shoulders Investment, even though one of the largest fund houses, UK-based fund houses. And today, before we dive into more of the context that our investment advisory lead will take you through, some more about the market outlook, and also some products and some case studies, I want to set the scene. So what I'm going to talk about, for those that you have investment experience, maybe it's just a good recap, right? For those that kind of at your start of your journey of the investment, will be good kind of context before dive into something more practical on the next step, right? So why passive income? First, I have two babies. I have one 22 months old and one 3 months old. How many of you have kids? No. Yeah, so that is definitely relevant for you, right? I think one important thing is nowadays is kind of risky, right? When you have kids, you start to think about risk management a lot more. I was like, sharing with some of my friends, and I talk about risks a lot more in my life to my wife than before when I have kids, right? So having passive income will help you navigate through a lot of the needs around like kids' education. If you don't have kids, your need on traveling, your need on your health protection and things like that, right? And before we start talking about a bit more on a few strategies that you can play, I want to ask you guys, what's your target first of all, right? Like, if you're targeting just 5,000 HKD, can you put up your hand? 5,000? Oh no, 10K. Okay, some, yeah. 10-20%. That's the title. Maybe everybody, we should change even the title. Then we need to expand and break the wall, and then we'll get more audience even. 20K. Yeah, more than B, and 50K plus. Wow, very aggressive. You guys should become a Syfe client today because we are launching something crazy, in the second half. So be a client first. What does financial freedom mean to you? This is a very important thing, right? It sounds very simple, but I just really want to set the scene for you guys, right? Passive income, apart from not salary, we'll cross it out, right? Something that would take effort is your salary. You can earn a lot of income by a lot of jobs and part-time job and start a business or whatever. When your total income, your passive income, right, is bigger than your living expense, that's the financial freedom. And it's something that everybody is striving for, right? And someone told me that, Kevin, maybe I can reduce my living expense, then I can achieve this faster. Yes, that's also one strategy. And one thing I want to call out here is passive income. It should not be something that you spend a lot of time to earn, right? Think about this for a second, right? Let's say if you're trading at night after work and then looking at the US stock and it's a lot of effort, and I won't say it's passive, okay, right?
So we design a platform in a way that can help you with the long-term investment, and that's why I want to emphasize in the equation, it's not only about how much you're spending or how much you're earning. It's also about how much effort you're putting into doing something. How predictable is the outcome, right? What are the risks, right? So this is something we try to bring from the institutional investment experience to everyone, right? On your hand, it will be an app. So I will be quick on the side, and then I will go through some app demo, right? One more question. What's your biggest source of passive income? I'm sure some of you already started that, right? I can predict some of the answer. A, time deposit. How many of you have done time deposit? Or let me ask it. How many of you haven't done time deposit at all? Oh, wow. I want to talk to you. Maybe there's some insight I can get from you. Second, how many of you own properties and getting rental income? Ooh, quite a lot, actually. Wow, okay. Stock dividend, a basket of stock dividend, or one or two, okay, decent. And lastly, bond investing. Okay, I would say C and D is kind of equal tie, and then and then followed by rental. Of course, time deposit. Everyone does that, right? Good. First, rental. Basically, this one is something that is loved by Hong Kong people, right? And obviously some expert and professionals, but I think the challenge here is that you can't kind of predict how the property price will go. And this is kind of the time that people are struggling to whether go back to the property market because the yield is going up, right? Because the price dropped quite a lot and rental is going up, right? But based on a lot of experience, I think why we put it a range? Because the toughest part is to ensure that throughout the year, someone will rent your place and the maintenance costs. And there are a lot of things that you need to take into consideration when considering like a rental. I think the most challenging thing about this on building up passive income is liquidity. Because when you lock it in, and then now may not be a good time or best time to sell your property, you may need to sell it at loss, right? If you need the money for kids, for travel, for whatever, it's very difficult, right? But it's always something that top of a lot of people's mind. Stock dividend, we just give you an example of HSBC, right? If you want more tips or you want to build a basket of like stock on driving dividend, we are more than happy to help you. You can connect with us. But just to give you an example, even HSBC, one of the largest banks, right? You look at the fluctuation, especially here, right? Basically, the yield is not as stable, and the price fluctuation would not be something that you can really manage without effort. Let's say you create a basket of stock pay out dividends, right? Maybe you need to look into the price. You need to monitor the yield from time to time. You would spend effort. Then bond dividends. Actually, the proportion is quite good here. In Hong Kong, I would say fixed income or bond is kind of underinvested. There are a lot of room for people to diversify your assets by investing in bonds. But think about new world. Look at the bond price, the risks into investing in the one. I don't want to ask who actually hold this. And also there are a lot of challenges for people investing in bond. Reason being the entry barrier is higher. If you want to diversify, you need a bigger fund to start. And there are so many bonds, so many bond funds as well. It's very hard to choose the one for you. There are platforms that will give you access to different bond funds. But for us, we take a different approach. We try to offer something more simple, and in the following session, we will talk about that. So just bring everything together, right? And it's very important to look at the level of difficulty, on managing these things. You may disagree with some of that, right? But this is just really like to set the scene, right? Rental income to build as a strategy to build passive income. Yeah, relatively lower yield. Maybe you find a good property, maybe you get up to 3-4%, but you need to look into the cost. If you want to learn more and then you're in the course of considering one, feel free to talk to us. Our investment advisors can help you as well, right? But basically, it will be high maintenance. You need to deal with people issue, maintenance issue, right? Stock, right? And then bond and fixed deposit to us, the effort will be lower, right? But then to us, once we spot here, if you are not yet into bond investment, I think today you want to kind of learn more about that, right? The effort to maintain a bond portfolio is not really that high, especially with our help. Once you understand what we are trying to build, the risk level of that, basically it's something that you can do a monthly regular investment in. And it will give you a monthly payout or passive income right away, depending on your funds and level of risk you can take. Yeah? So good for now. And then I want to just check in like any questions so far. And then for the rest of the session, feel free to ask question anytime. Just raise your hand. Our folks will pass you a mic. We have run this different times with the different audience. And I think what will make this more interesting is questions on the floor. So any question now? Feel free to raise your hand. All good? Good. Looks like a lot of you have investment experience. So let's do some app demo as a teaser before I dive into the next session. So I will be showing my portfolio, as an example. Let me see if I can connect to the screen. A second. Yep. So this is my phone, okay? And I'm on LinkedIn. Sorry, Facebook, I can post it now, okay. Sorry, Face ID, yes. So if you haven't started the journey yet, right? Download the app, on board, right? Bear with me, there's quite some questions we're asking that's required by the law. We are a regulated entity under SFC with 149 license. So once you are onboarded, right, basically this is the landing page, right? And we are known for a very simple platform, right? So far, Hong Kong, we haven't launched a brokerage, right? As Archie mentioned, our platform, we can also allow you to trade stock. This is the biggest difference between us and some of the other Singapore-based or other kind of wealth management platform, right? We allow you to have a simple interface, not giving you 300 funds or whatsoever. We have clearly positioned the product. So you go to a portfolio, you say add new. Basically, the income, cash, thematic, the higher risk product, higher return product, the core portfolio are all there at your fingertip. And let's dive into my portfolio, right? So I put quite a bit of portion into the income portfolio. And it's called Income Plus. And I've selected the enhanced version. So let's see what happened in the past 1.5 years. Right, so this is about the time I joined Syfe from Shoulders, right? I invested 500K and then I got like, 20K loss. And then I then asked Archie, hey, our investment head, what happened to my investment? Can you help me? I am going to withdraw, right? And they said, no, stay put. It's a good time to invest in bond, right? Because the interest rate, the Fed rate movement, it's not too late, right? Bond investment right now in 10 years is something you can think about for a longer, medium to longer term, right? And in that 1 year, as Fed start to cut rate, bond price increase, and we target to pay out 7 to 8.6%, and then we made our promise in that year. By paying out the monthly passive income to myself, right, and plus also the capital upside, then I'm gaining this. And what happened here now? Then it's basically the Liberation Day. I think it's a painful day for a lot of people when Trump announced that tariff, right? And then apart from the stock market, actually bond market also got some retract, right? But you look at this, it's only merely just a few percent, like 3-4% from this. If you actually double down during this time, then all good, right? So less than 2 years, the total return, is 15%, right? And that's something I can just scroll down with one click. I click payout, then the monthly income that I'm earning from this bond portfolio, I can instantly, automatically, right, do a monthly regular payout to my bank. And that bank account is the unique account that linked to our Syfe account, right? So it's that simple, right? So I just want to show you how I did that, right? And a kind of experience on that, right? So selecting a portfolio, investing into that, doing a regular investment, link up with your bank account. You can select between reinvestment or the payout. Then during that time, I asked, the Liberation Day again. I talked to Arjit. Arjit, look at that. Is it time to liquidate? He said, no, double down. So okay. Then I go into the managed portfolio, and then I created a portfolio for my daughter, called Elena, and that's what happened. So in a month, I got 18% return. Of course, it's a smaller sum because it's like, let's say 1 year old celebration and people give you wrap packet and things like that, right? And then you don't know where to put. If you go to bank, how do I create a portfolio and name it with my daughter's name? So this is my daughter's name is right here, right? And I selected a growth portfolio. Why? Because she is only 1 year-ish old. She can take risks, definitely. High risk, high return. So I put all the money into a growth portfolio, and this is the outcome. A month, I got that return, right? Okay, then what about my son, 3 months old? I put into a all equity portfolio. We call it Equity 100, with the average return like 10%, 11% in the annualized return in the past 8 years. So again, in just a short period of time, I got a return. But what I'm trying to say, am I just showing you the good picture, right? I also show you some of the time at loss, right? Investments like this, up and down, right? Sometimes you need to find the right moment to get into a picture. Sometimes you just need to do a regular plan. Sometimes it's about your risk level. If you can take risks, we can even introduce some other product to you, right? So that's something very important. And for event like this, we also have playbacks, right? So if you go to knowledge, right, and then you scroll down, if you are actually, you join English version now, we have the Chinese version there. We have some joint events, let's say with Bowtie, some joint event with BlackRock. You can actually on the app, you can go and search and enjoy all the content there as well, right? And one more thing very importantly is like if you have any question and you don't want to ask here because it's personal, you just go to the app. You say you need help, right? You basically can just click need help and instantly you will be on our WhatsApp channel, and you can ask any question. Our licensed rep would help you out with your investment, right? That's it for the brief intro to our kind of digital services and experience. I just want to ask any questions before I then invite Morton on the stage. Oh, this is a question. Sorry, that lady first, yeah.
Sorry, very simple question. Do you have a specific advisor that is assigned to you if you sign up for the actual account?
Yeah, so the way we do it is a little bit different, right? If you specifically say, hey, I like Morton more than whoever, yes, we can help you with the preference, yeah? But this is not the normal way we do it, right? So we have like close to 300K clients across APAC, right? And they're like true investor, not like open account and only a small percentage investing with us. These are all the people that are investing with us, right? And basically a lot of them, they do not need a lot of high touch. They can just work it out with the app, right? And they may just send us a WhatsApp message, and then we'll just reply that, and within maybe hours or even minutes, right? So if you really demand that, right, then you can look into our different tiers. So we have different tiers actually. We do have that. We have a basic blue tier, black tier, gold tier, and then diamond tier. And with the different tier, if you really demand more private servicing, we can help you out with that. And in Singapore, we actually launched a private offering with BlackRock and on the private credits, right? So if that's something you're looking for, feel free to talk to us as well. Thank you for the question. And a gentleman over here also trying to ask a question.
Personally, in your portfolio, do you have any aggressive investments?
Any what?
Aggressive investments.
Any aggressive investments? Yeah. So maybe off stage I can talk more, but now we haven't launched brokerage, right? So on stock in Hong Kong, I understand that a lot of people like to select stock or even like derivatives, right? So I do hold some of that, right? I'm licensed rep here. I'm the RO. I can disclose some of these, right? But this is not investment advice for now, right? Like basically, we have different choices, and on our platform, we also have people having pretty aggressive investment, but they still use it at this stage before we launch a brokerage, right? Is that they also want some safe haven for some part of the assets that will bring more stable, trusted return, right? On the side, they may trade with some of the other apps for now, but I'm sure when we launch brokerage in future, right, it will be easy because you want on the same app. One tap is really one tap away. The left tab, you get a lot of those I manage portfolio, professionally managed with our institutional investment experience. On the middle tab, you tap into that, and then you can start trading stock as well, right? We also have more aggressive investment portfolio, not in the current app demo and the focus for today, but I'm happy to share with you more off the stage. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Some question over there?
Hi. When you have mentioned that like Syfe is different than other digital platform, right?
Yeah.
Like Singapore based, right? What is the difference? Can you just tell us more about like why Syfe is different than if I have to name Crystal or Endeavors or
Yeah,
like that?
there are quite a few, absolutely, right? So
Thank you.
first, the biggest difference, right, is that some of the name the gentleman mentioned, they do not have brokerage, right? Brokerage is something we can build upon and would create a lot more possibility for people, right? That's one very big difference, right? For now, we haven't had brokerage yet, but we're planning on launching that in Hong Kong as well, right? Having brokerage, you will have control over or access to all the ETFs and the different kind of direct stock, right? And there's a unique function in Syfe called Syfe bundles. But I don't want to do a sidetrack to the topic here. But bundles meaning I was sharing with a lady before the journey is like Trump got elected as the president. On the next day, we launch a Trump bundle. Imagine if you are doing a mutual fund or a private fund whatsoever, it would take time. It will be costly, and the management will be high, right? When we launch a Syfe bundle, it's very creative, and that product, right? Basically, you do not need to pay any management fee, but you get expert advice. You can trade, you can tweak, you can personalize the offering, right? So brokerage will be one big differentiator that sooner or later we'll launch it, right? And in Australia, we have acquired one of the largest listed digital broker, right? And we have delisted that company, right? And so brokerage is certainly one thing. The other thing is we lead by innovation. Apart from giving access, we have a lot of innovative product. So, for example, one product called Cash Plus Fix, or in Singapore we call it Cash Plus Guarantee, is a well-loved product by a lot of people. And when we launched in Hong Kong, we're the first launching that, and we in the news you can search, right? We call it the first of its kind. Cash Plus Fix. If you want to learn more about the innovative product and how innovation work, right, we can share more with you. And one other example in Singapore, we launched a protected portfolio, a portfolio that you can invest in S&P 500, but the maximum loss will only be 3%. So there are things that we are trying to create differently. And if you can't find a product yet today, you start with cash first, stay with us, tell us what you want, and then we'll certainly kind of innovate based on that. But another big difference is that we do not just invest in mutual fund-based product, ETF-based product, more like the other competitors start with S, right? We can create a portfolio with direct stock. We create portfolio with time deposit. We create portfolio with different underlyings. Whenever it makes sense, right? We aim to be an all-in-one platform, including the brokerage arm, right? Hope that is relatively convincing for you. Yeah, another gentleman question. Yeah. I like the interaction, right? Because when you ask a question, you actually ask on behalf of some of the others in their mind, and then you kind of get more context into that.
So what's your fee structure? And what's the expense ratio on some of these?
Love your question, because that means you're considering really. So cash, for now, for any cash offering, right? We like up to 4.3%, right, that we're offering. Basically, no management fee. in the revenue model, we'll build into that, right? And one thing Archie didn't mention, in Singapore, in Australia, the company, huge company that we acquire, we're profitable, right? In the main markets, right? In Hong Kong, we're starting. As a group, we have sufficient funds, and we are, the business model allow us to create something differentiated with low cost. And for all the other managed portfolio investment portfolio, depending on the tiers, it ranges from 0.35% to 0.65%. So the more AUM you put, the lower kind of management fee you will need to offer, right? And by the way, like some of our competitors, we rebate all trailer fee. And rebating trailer fee is not only about saving costs. I want to emphasize that it's about staying independent. We want to work with someone. Recently, we rebalanced our income portfolio, right? We want to work with someone that makes sense for you. For the few hundred bond funds or multi-asset funds, we have, analyzed a lot of that according to the investment strategy we want to build. Then we build the income plus, right? So that's something that is quite important for us to maintain and continue, right? It's only about the lower fee that we're working out, right? It's really independence. And we want to give, and there's some secret project we're working at the back. We also want to make a lot of our product more accessible, right? So stay tuned for that, yeah? Thanks. Okay, if I continue this, right, then Morton will hate me because
One more question.
One more. After this, one more? Okay.
Do you have any Hong Kong deposit protection on this site?
The deposit protection scheme, right? So the deposit protection scheme is designed for the banks. And because we're SFC licensed entity, we are not covered under the DPS. But the question could be kind of taken in a way that, Syfe, how do I trust you, right? Right? So basically, the deposit protection scheme is referring to if a bank, a license under HKMA, right, go under somehow, right? You could at least get back, I think now it's increased to 800K, right? And the risk is really on the bank, whether the bank would go under whatsoever, right? First, this question is only relevant to one of our products, so that we have a lot of other products, right? So if you're considering your really low risk guys, you only consider time deposit based investment service, right? That's something first of its kind that we created, offering corporate rate by partnering with some of the largest banks. Then this question is only relevant for that one product, right? So if you have other questions on others, we can answer. Basically, we only work with some of the largest banks. So HSBC is our partner, and there's another partner I can disclose called ANZ. Some of the largest bank in the region, right? And they are all Hong Kong MA licensed bank as well, right? So we also SFC licensed entity. That means when you fund in, the money will sit in the HSBC custodian account first. Depending on your instruction, if you, let's say you want to invest in the cash plus fix or cash with guarantee in Singapore, basically then we will help you invest into multiple banks' time deposit, giving you a preferential rate, right? And in that case, the risk is really not about whether Syfe would have any issue whatsoever. Because let's say there's some issue, right? Your money is safe with the custodian bank. That's the beauty of being licensed, right? So our license code is BRQ 741. So you guys can search and go and SFC and check out, right? And the question is really about how likely in 1 month or 3 months I time deposit that HSBC will go on, right? So that one, I would say, we have been very transparent into what scheme is being covered, what's not, right? If you have any question about the safety of investing in Syfe, in fact, what's the meaning of Syfe? Syfe actually means safe wallet. This is our top priority. So definitely, if you have any question, we can answer that too. Yeah? Good. All right, one last one, and then we'll hand over to Morton, because I think Morton will cover some of the questions there then. But I really love the questions and energy.
Do you disclose the investment returns for all your products, including your income plus products? Because I go to your website and I don't think you publish that. You only publish the cash payout ratio, but not the...
Absolutely. So that's one feedback we've got, right? And in fact, in just this year till now, right, we have more than double our business in terms of the asset under management in Hong Kong, right? We're getting a lot of traction, a lot of Hong Kong people loving, the yield generating product, right? And a lot of them are actually coming to us on the WhatsApp channel. Very easy. One click, come to our WhatsApp, right? Asking for the performance results. So we're working on that, right? There's something we would put on website, put on app, and make it easier for you. Meanwhile, before some of these enhancements are being done, because we're a digital-first company, right? And before Shoulders are working with McKinsey and the digital team, that's something we really prioritize. And before that, you can just give us a message on WhatsApp. We'll send you whatever information about the portfolio, historical return you need to know to you, right? Some of them are, getting into even the fund level. They want to learn more about that. We're more than happy to share some of these data with you. But normally, if depending on some of the products, some of them will require you to become a client first, according to the regulation, right? So some of them we can't just give you some of the product details and whatsoever, right? We want to make sure that we've done part of the onboarding for that. But feel free to message us, and we'll do it like case by case. Yeah.
So for equity-based products, it's all on the website. For fixed income, we'll actually show in the next session, so you'll get a sense of the performance there.
Yeah, equity. Good point, Archit. So equity, actually go to our website, syfe.com. You go to the equity portion. The basically the equity 100% equity. The core growth 70% equity, 30% bond, and some commodity. You can basically go to performance, and then we'll show you the historical performance right there on the website. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so without further ado, let me then hand over to Morton, our investment advisor lead, and then he would then dive into a lot more on some of the products and give you some examples and case studies and some client experience. And again, feel free to ask questions throughout the session. Thanks.
Thanks, Kevin, sharing on all this. I think he has already shared many different ways on passive incomes, and also some of the purpose that why you come here, you want to learn more about the ways to generate passive income. In these sections, we will be more practical. I think we want to give you some more thoughts on how to enhance your overall income portfolio. I think you guys may have different ways, like what Kevin just mentioned. Property investment, maybe getting the rental income, or so dividend stocks. How Syfe can enhance overall your portfolio. That should give you some hints on that. Before that, we want to let you know one of the framework that we always use for our clients. Imagine free of charge, you can get a car. Which car will you be more favorable of? A family car, a sport vehicle, or even a Formula One if you can own one. Just raise your hand if you can own one car. Family car, for what? Who want to own one? Okay, I think just 2 clients here. For a sport vehicle, just more. Formula One, you are a Formula One player. Okay, nice. So what I want to tell here is just I think most people here will be more like in the stable risk appetite, which means that you want to take some risk, but at the same time you don't want to risk too much in your portfolio. Actually, this also some of the framework that we always use for our clients when we try to build a passive income portfolio for them. Another one that we always use is based on the purpose of the cash that he need to invest out, because this also a very important consideration when you have to invest for certain purpose. Say like if you need the money for emergency, if you need the money for offsetting living expenses, it should be less than 6 months or even less than 3 months, right? So that part of money, we will divide it into a now cash segment. We will have some strategies for you to handle that money. And the other part, for those money you can invest longer term, 6 months to 2 years, like for saving for family trips or a bigger tickets, then it would be a soon cash. For the longer term one, the later cash segments, you can invest money out for 2 years. Then it should have a higher risk appetite, right? You can invest out the money for a higher risk portfolio which you can sustain, right? So that would be another portfolio composition for you to handle that part of money. So this is also another framework. We also want to try to help our clients to clarify their needs. Somehow you have purpose on investment, right? I think all people come here, you will have some purpose why you come here. You want to offset some of your expenses or goals for your money. And before we deep dive into the portfolio details, I just want to ask a question for you guys. Actually, how much proportion of your net liquid assets, including cash, you have that's earning less than 3%? You can raise up your hand for any option. For option A, less than 10%. Okay, 4 to 5 clients, 10 to 30%. Yeah, more clients, 30 to 50%. Option C. Okay, and more than 50%. Okay, I think most people will be falling into 10 to 30%, or maybe some of you may not even calculate on the actual return that you get overall from your portfolio. But what we try to say is actually from our perspective, for our clients, usually they put the money in the banks, and you know the banking saving rate right now is very low, especially you put into Hong Kong dollar. So how you can optimize that part of money and how you can use that part of money to be one of the portion for you to build up your passive income portfolio is what Syfe Hong Kong will try to help you. And you can see basically we have different product suite. From left to the right, it is actually the risk level increasing. For those cash management portfolio, we have two. One is cash plus fixed, which we help our clients place their money into banking time deposit with a rate that higher than that you can get from the retail banks. Right now we can pay up to 4.3% in US dollar. Flexi, for the money that you want, you have to withdraw at any time you want. You want to invest that part of money at any time or withdraw at any time you want, then we have a flexi solution up to 4.2%. And also we will using some bond fund portfolio, which we call it income, to help you raise the overall passive income portfolio return. At the same time, you can still maintain a quite stable portfolio. We have two options, the pure and enhanced, with different target payout level, up to 7% and 8.6%. So basically, with these kinds of portfolio, then I also want to tell you why you have to utilize your money into this portfolio from the market environment perspective, because as you know, right now, market is very uncertain. After Liberation Day, the volatility of the market is very high this year, right? So we may see another very volatile market situation in the second half. So how to manage your idle cash is one very important factor that we want to help for our clients. And our view on from our investment team is mainly the interest rate. Right now you see the level is still quite high. If you're looking for the past 10 to 20 years, the interest rate is close to 0 to 1%, right? But right now, although there will be some rate cut expectation in the second half, but the rate level is still very high. If you're looking at the US dollar Federal Reserve target rate is still at 4%, which is in the last 10 years historically at a very high level. So in this environment, one of the suggestions for most people in terms of building your portfolio also as a passive income portfolio, we will provide an option that I just mentioned, the cash plus fixed US dollar with the return up to 4.3%. That should be a part of your portfolio that help you maintain the, reduce the volatility of the whole portfolio. At the same time, you can gain a high enough return from the cash. And right now we also have free conversion because I think most of the people here maybe your bank saving will be in Hong Kong dollar. Then if you want to get a high return, like say like 4.3% in US dollar, you have to convert the money into US dollar, and we will help you. Actually, you can deposit in Hong Kong dollar to our Cash Pacific US dollar. We don't charge any conversion fee on that. And this table also show you why you have to put the money in the side for fixed deposit investment, because you can see this is the updated data this month. For 3 months, 6 months, actually our way provide to our client is actually much higher than that for major banks. Even the second tier banks, the lower, the SBC Asia, it would be 60%, 60 basis point difference between our offerings of and the bank deposit. And for the Hong Kong dollar one, right now we can provide 2.25% at 6 months, which is, you can see the margin even higher than that compared to the banks. So if you don't want to convert into US dollar, you just want to hold Hong Kong dollar, then yeah, of course we can also help on that. And for the money that you have to take away anytime or you can invest, you need to withdraw at any time, we also have a flexi US dollar solution, which can give a return up to 4.2% per annum. And it's no lock-in period right now, and then we provide institutional assets. We will repay all 50% fund level fee, all the fund level back to our clients, which means you can save 50% of the charge from fund level. We help our clients invest in different money market fund solution. We will try to rebalance and optimize the portfolio concurrently, and we will try to see which fund is the best performance, and then we will switch for you, so that you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about the fund performance, whatever the details of those funds. You don't need to know. You just need to use our service. Then you can gain those service. And another viewpoint that we want to mention today is the fixed income direction. Actually, from our investment perspective, in the coming second half, you will see there's quite a lot of news saying that there will be 2 or even 3 rate cuts. So in this short-term interest rate going down perspective, we will also recommend your portfolio can put some fixed income. And if you're looking at this chart, you can see it is a historical chart showing for the last 10 plus year how is the bond yield performance. Actually, if you know the basics, you know the bond yield is inverse relation with the bond price. And if the yield is high, actually it's implying the bond price is at a low level. And you can see right now, actually the bond yield is at a certain quite high level compared to the history. You can see at the high level, but it already going down. So what our view is, if we will say that the bond yield will comes to environment going to go down more. I mean the short to medium term bond yield. For the long term yield, maybe is difficult to forecast. Maybe it's still at a certain high level or may not be go down too much. But at least the short term to medium term view, our viewpoint is it will keep going down. And if you're looking at the latest data from the Fed Watch, you can see the rate cut expectation by the end of this year is around 2 to 3 times, which means that there will be 50 to 75 basis point rate cut in the coming environment. That would be a very favorable environment for fixed income, for those short to medium term fixed income investment. And even though there's no rate cut coming, because we don't know, right now the market consensus and also our investment point view is there will be rate cut coming soon. But if there's no, how is the performance of overall fixed income? You can look at this chart. Actually, for the leaks, if you're looking at the February 1990, since 1995, if the rate cut pause, then how is the performance in 1, 3, 5 years? Actually, it keeps going up, you can see. So the conclusion is that there's rate cut, your bond performance will perform better, but there's no rate cut, still the performance of bonds will be good. So that's why in the portfolio construction, you have to also consider to add some fixed income position into your portfolio. And if you don't do too much research on direct bonds, or you don't have too much ideas on that, you can look into our income solution. Our income solution, which have 2 different portfolio. We invest 6 bond funds in different portfolio right now, and we try to optimize the bond portfolio for our clients, and we can provide up to 8.6% per annum on the target payout. So that if you want to generate monthly payout, we can have an option for you after your investment. You can get the money, we will withdraw, we will pay out the money to your bank accounts for your use. And also we have institutional graded. We don't charge on any fund level fee. We pay all the fund level fee that we can get from the fund house. For performance, you can see this chart. Since launch, you can see the red line is our income enhanced portfolio, which the target payout higher one. We have 13.6% return since launch, and the pure 12.2%, which actually very clearly outperformed the benchmark, the Bloomberg Global Aggregate Index, which is actually most of the bond fund portfolio will be benchmark on that. And if you're looking at those long-term bond investment, I guess someone may know about the TLT, one of the very famous ETF in 20 years treasury. Actually, the performance goes down because this year you can see a very obvious divergence between the trend of the long-term yield and the short to medium-term yield. So that would be also reflecting our investment investment team viewpoint that we maintain our positive view on short to medium-term bond, and the performance is also good in the last 1 year. For the fees, I think Kevin has just shared some of it, but go into details, you can see if you use our Syfe solution, what we can try to help you to save. For the first one, you can see the fund level fee. If you buy the same bond fund under the income portfolio in retail banks, PP or online platform, actually you have to pay out 1.12%, but at us, just half of that. And all this subscription fee, switching funds fee, we don't charge any of that. We just charge one management fee, manage your income portfolio, cash management portfolio, which is a sophisticated service only offered by a private bank usually. You cannot go to retail bank and tell the RM, oh, you help me manage the portfolio, then you charge a management fee. You just manage the instrument, the finance, securities you trade for me. Normally, bank will not provide, retail bank will not provide this service, but PB can provide this service, but the fee is actually quite high, 1 to 2%. But we just charge 35 to 65 basis points annually. So altogether, you can see we just charge up to 1.21%, which is obviously cheaper than that. You invest the same product, get the same solution from other platforms.
Just to clarify again, right? Cash, there's no management fee in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Cash portfolio in Singapore,
yeah.
also charging clients a certain portfolio, of course, much lower. What Morten is saying is referring to the managed portfolio.
Yeah. Just basically for today's section, the income portfolio, and we have some growth portfolio. If you are interested, then you can also come to us, and then we can introduce those part. We will charge management fee for the cash plus fixed flexi. We don't charge any management fee on that. And so based on what we have discussed on those portfolio and also different risk appetite, I think all of you can have your own risk assessment on yourself, or you can come to us. We can help you to assess that. How you can construct your portfolio based on our how you can construct your passive income portfolio based on the offerings that we have. We try to divide it into 3 1. For low risk, you want to own a family car only, 2 million Hong Kong dollar investment, then you can invest 30% into the flexi US dollar. Income pure 70%, then you can get a payout monthly at roughly 10K. And annual payout rate 6%. If you are slightly want to achieve a higher risk, then that 2 million Hong Kong dollar investment we will recommend on income pure 80%, income enhanced 20%, and you can get 12K monthly for your payout. And the last one, this one is the highest risk option that you can also consider which we will recommend you to put more 80% into enhanced, 20% into the income pure. Then it will get you 14K roughly on your monthly payout, around 78% on the payout ratio. This is just a recommend portfolio for different risk appetite class. If you have your individual situation is different, or you have other consideration in building your own portfolio, then you can come to us. Always can come to us for more a tailor-made portfolio for you. We can provide this service to our clients. And for today, we have an exclusive offer. We don't offer that to other clients, just for today's seminar clients. If you invest 10K Hong Kong, then the cash reward will be 500. 100K will be 1,000, and 200K will be 1,500. You need to input the code into our Syfe Hong Kong app, then you can get the promo. And any questions? Feel free to scan this WhatsApp, and our advisor team, including me, will try to help you to solve your own, to help you out on your own situation, try to provide a tailor-made solution for you. And also, you can try out to download our app. I think Kevin is already showing the basics of that, but if you want to try yourself, then you can also scan this code, download the Syfe app. Okay. Hong Kong dollar, this is Hong Kong dollar. But yeah, we accept also US dollar. You just, roughly can, convert into US dollar, and we can accept, we can give out same level of reward for your deposit in US dollar. Yeah. Yes, we will offer that to all the portfolio that you can see from our platform. We don't say filter out which one, and you can freely choose which portfolio you want to go for, and that's all for my part today. Any questions? Just you can ask here, or you also can ask by scanning our WhatsApp code. Yeah.
Thank you, Morton, for the detailed analysis. Kevin Archit, I'd like to invite you guys on stage, and we'll conduct the Q&A now.
I see that already there are some questions, so we have planned for this. And feel free, if you want to reveal your why it's a bit crowded today. The turn-up rate is super high. So you see we have a lot of people here staying to the end. So feel free to ask questions while they're setting up. Okay.
So I got a question about the degree of transparency. So you offered multiple plans, and you mentioned that you were to be investing in, deposit, equities, stocks, bonds. Do we, as investors or as clients, get a monthly report, quarterly report, or if any kind of what kind of bonds, what kind of equities, what are we dealing with?
I love that, because that's exactly the beauty of being a digital-led platform, and actually the largest here. Indeed, on the composition of what we're investing, the proportion, the percentage that we're investing in, you can actually see it depending on the product. Some of them is on the website, right? And you can see it on the app every day. You can look into the app and see if we have done any rebalancing. We'll also let you know if we have done any rebalancing. Like recently on the income portfolio, we kind of brought in a BlackRock income fund. We brought in the other funds in, right? Then we will kind of share with you. And also, on top of that, on a monthly basis, we have a monthly statement, and then we'll share with you some regular market outlook. Indeed, we have some outlook, produced by our, very experienced investment team from a regular basis too.
I think unlike mutual funds and all, where you only get to see and you don't see and you only see top 10% of the portfolio, and that too only on a monthly basis. On our app, after investments, you can see to very, very precisely where do you invest, how much it is, what underlines transparently at any point in time.
So I'm interested in the income product you just mentioned, but I saw that you're advertising you would like pay out like up to 8% per month. But from the investment return slides that you just shown earlier, is actually your return would be less than 8% per year. So does it mean like you're paying out the money with the capital? So would that it into the capital, and can we like see the capital that we actually hold with the income product? Thank you.
Yeah. So actually, the returns. So a few things. I think the actual distributions, monthly distributions, for the enhanced portfolio is around, on average, 7.8, 7.9%, and the total return that you see around 13%. It's almost in line with the actual yield, because the portfolios are about 1.5 years old. So now, no, we don't pay out of capital. So the income is primarily coming from the underlying funds we invest into. As they pay income, we pay out those incomes back to you. That range is effectively how we set the range. Is effectively a target, and we try to construct that based on, again, different risk tiers. Pure is less, enhanced is higher. So based on that, we set the target and we rebalance portfolios to achieve that range. Now, performance, yes, and I think as Kevin was showing, bond portfolios can have up and down performance depending on how the interest rates move. But I think in the long term, as you hold, and effectively what we have seen in one of the slides from Morton as well, there's a high correlation with the starting yield. And especially in a market context where the yields are expected to go lower or stay close to what they are, there's a huge correlation between the yield and actual returns you realize over 1, 3, 5 years.
Yeah, so I want to bring it to life to the two questions, right? On the screen, I'm showing my portfolio. You go into income as an example. You scroll down, you see composition. You click composition, you see all the percentage real time, on not real time, like it's like on that day, right? Because we don't rebalance our portfolio every day, right? We rebalance from time to time when it makes sense, right? So you can see all the name, the code of the fund. If you go and pick these funds in other platforms, bear in mind you need to pay the full management fee, and as Morton mentioned, we're paying 50% of the underlying fund fee, and waiving all the subscription fee, redemption fee, etc. So on the return, right? Yes, we target a range of payout, and you need to understand the difference between the payout and yield to maturity, right? So we target a range, and among the hundreds of bond funds we do assessment, we'll optimize. And to kind of fulfill the investment strategy that we aim for. And then for my portfolio, right, I invest in 2023 August, right? This example that you're seeing right now is less than a year, right? Because I've selected reinvestment. Because reinvestment will also change your total final return, right? When I choose a reinvestment, that means I'm reinvesting to all the cash I'm getting, the payout I'm getting every month. So indeed, it's just like what we call a dollar cost averaging kind of concept, right? So with less than a year, I'm getting total return of 15.3%, right? Like on an annual basis, actually, is very decent, right? So hitting the payout target with managing the volatility is something that we're trying to manage. Yeah.
Question here. How do you differentiate yourself from Stashaway and Endowus?
Yeah, so I actually have taken this question during my session. Maybe you missed that, right? So let me put it simply now. One is we as a group have brokerage, right? So like some of the other largest kind of trading apps, we have brokerage platform, and on the platform we have expert advice on creating bundles, and I have given some example to the people like how we made brokerage investment simple and make it like a platform that you can think about long term as well, right? In Hong Kong, we haven't launched brokerage yet, but we'll soon, plan and launch that, right? That's one of the biggest thing. The other thing is basically we create innovative products, different package products, and some of the things that we have done are actually first in the market in both Singapore and Hong Kong, and I'm happy to share with you more offline. I've given some more examples just now to the audience. Third is we are not limited to giving you just a mutual fund-based product or ETF-based product like the other competitor, right? So one start with more mutual fund-based, and and also private offering. The other more ETF-based. We do both, and we also do direct stock investment. We do time deposit based investment, and we're exploring many others, right? In the sense that you can basically tell us, right, what you want. As more of you say you want it, we'll consider in the roadmap. And indeed, when we plan for the second half, some clients are telling me that I want higher risk product on income. I want to consider this and that. I want to look into more multi-asset offering or anything. Even some people talk about crypto, right? Or we used to allow trading on crypto in Australia as well. So tell us what you want, and start with cash even without management fee, a good starting point. And message us. We'll collate all the feedback and then plan out the roadmap. Yeah.
Hi, so could you walk me through how you rebalance the portfolio, also how often you do it, and also like, for example, like the logic behind it?
Yeah, so typically for the managed portfolios, we look at it on a quarterly basis. We assess the market conditions. Obviously, like investment team on our side, a team of about 10 people, we discuss things every day, every week. But if you have to make changes, typical cycle is 3 months to 6 months, depending again on markets, depending on type of portfolios. The investment logics behind are systematic. So it's a mix of economic cycles and our view on the economic cycles, plus a bit of systematic strategy that we build based on again our own experiences. We come from investment backgrounds. So it's a hybrid approach, I would say, largely, and from a perspective which the most fundamental part of again how we think about portfolios is not about short term. So we're not thinking when we are constructing portfolios, we're not thinking okay, next 3 months, next month, or next week how the things will look. We construct portfolios from a very long term lens. How the portfolios can perform in next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. That's the approach we take. That's the approach we use in our models. That's the approach we use from a kind of an hybrid economic cycle approach as well.
Yeah, so what I've done is a perfect example, right? Remember, I joined, I invest in August, and then in October, then I got like around 4% loss, 3 to 4. Why? Because at that time, the market found out that actually Fed rate would not be cut at the rate that they're expecting. It will be much slower than the market expectation. And there's a kind of a time where then there's an adjustment to the bond price, right? People thinking, oh, the Fed rate will be cut much faster, right? But then it isn't the case, right? So there will be adjustment. Then after some time, right? If I quit by then, I would have made a loss, right? So it's just a month, right? But then you stay put for a longer term investment, right? This is the portfolio we're creating. It's something that people, if you can take the risks for the fluctuation, right? Then basically have a horizon for at least like 6 months or 1 year plus, and to capture the full opportunity of the fixed income investment and diversify. Don't just put all the basket into, everything in one basket in the income plus. We have a lot more other even balanced portfolio loved by our clients as well, right? Gold is a good asset class as well, right? And then we have a portfolio with exposure to that as well.
Yeah. So maybe just to give a quick example on income. So we rebalanced our portfolio around January, end of January and Feb. And even back then, we started tilting or slightly reducing US and going into Asia, which is again not a short-term bet. It's a slightly longer term, and it has obviously given us better returns so far this year compared to benchmarks. But we believe structurally that's the shift which will help us even in the next 2-3 years.
Yeah. And for the cash plus fixed USD, you suggested that the returns will be around 4.3%. What is the minimum amount you suggest for the Hong Kong dollar investment? And what will be the vice versa conversion, like from Hong Kong dollar to US dollar? It is a free conversion. And what will be the, suppose in case after the maturity we want in Hong Kong dollars, what will be the vice versa conversion? And what will happen if you want to stop it before it gets matured?
There are multiple questions there. If you want to take some.
Yeah, okay. So first, minimum, there's no minimum investment. So you can invest as much, as low as 10,000 Hong Kong dollar, which is much more of a regulatory requirement for you to sign up to a
Once you
platform.
activate with 10K, you can literally invest with any amount.
$1.
Yeah. But we are also trying to remove this barrier. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and then the second thing about FX, so as of now, what we can say at least for the next 3 to 4 months, we are not going to charge conversion fee on the way in or on the way out. So it's going to be 0. And transparently, I think even if we charge or when we start charging back, we have in the past charged like 10 basis point, like 0.1%, which is still significantly less than the conversion fee at banks, which are usually at least 0.3%. So it's like 1/3 of what you will typically pay at the banks to convert. But as of now, it's 0. For the next 3 months, I can say it's going to be 0. Going forward, beyond that, even if you charge 0.1%.
And what will be the effective returns after considering the administration fee or the fee
Yeah.
what you charge?
So for cash solutions, we don't charge anything. There's 0 management fee. So
in Hong Kong, yeah.
In our Hong Kong portfolio. So the rate you see, let's say 4.3%, is exactly the rate you will get. And there is nothing else beyond it. Very transparent, very simple. The only thing for you to consider would be the currency. So of course, if you're investing in US dollar, there's nothing. You get exactly 4.3% per annum. If you're investing in Hong Kong dollar, we don't charge any. There's no charge from our side, but the currency can move. Obviously, USD HKD is pegged within a range, so not a big risk there. But that's a factor to consider.
And there's one last question on the if you want to get the fund in between, right? So basically, there are 2 cash offerings, kind of top 5 products of Hong Kong and Singapore. One is called Flexi, one is called Fixed, right? If you need the liquidity, you need the funds anytime, right? Consider Flexi. If you can lock up the money for 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months, then consider Fixed. Within the 6 months, 3 months, or 1 month, you can't take it out. You can't break the contract. It's like we help you invest in multiple banks' time deposit, offering you higher rate without minimum, right? And that, to make it happen, right, we have to have the lockup. And it's very clear that the lockup must be there, right? But if you are considering converting your HKD to USD, right, even for Flexi, I will also advise you that the portion of that cash is not something Morton said is near cash. Like, it's not something you need to pay immediately every month or such, right? Because taking into account the currency risk, HKD and USD pegged, right? The maximum difference between that is around 1.29%, right? So you need to consider having the ability to hold the other currency for longer, or if, let's say, USD is basically you can hold it in USD for now, then you can ignore the currency risk for now, right? But then if you can only hold it for 2 weeks, then consider the HKD, right? So we can give you that advice individually, depending on your need. Yeah. So brokerage, we haven't officially or publicly announced a timeline and the go-to-market. So on that question, we could take it offline using Singapore as the kind of a reference. And it's not so urgent, right? Because you can't use it right away. So happy to talk to you offline on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once we make it public, we'll be very happy to share as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But thanks for your interest on that. And that's exactly why some clients actually, they come to us early day and then they kind of grow with Syfe, right? In Singapore, we indeed launch brokerage at the year 3 of launch. And a lot of the clients, they have a very fresh perspective about brokerage. If you think about Hong Kong, a lot of brokerage go under. You know, they're burning cash acquiring client. At the end of the day, if you're only looking for short-term trade, right? You know, there are plenty of platforms out there with zero commission whatsoever. To us, it's one direction. It will be definitely low cost, but then we'll give more value and we'll have different proposition. So that's something in our blood, right? It's not only about the cost that we're saving for you; it's the value we want to add on top. Yeah.
Currently in Singapore, you have margin for the brokerage?
No, not yet. So even in our Singapore platform, we don't have margin yet. This is something in Singapore is going to come soon, but not yet.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Lots of great questions. Yeah. Any other questions? Good. Let me ask you guys some questions. Q&A, right? Q&A, not just, we also want to know more. So one thing that we are constantly optimizing is the way we do business here, because we're known to be innovative and efficient as well. Sometimes you don't see us like here and there on MTR and here and there, because why? We're saving the money for you guys. That's something in our blood on what we do, right? So I just want to do a quick show of hands. Like, how many of you heard of Syfe from, let's say, Facebook? Okay. Instagram. Okay, equal tie. From the PR news here and there, or Google search. You search for something specific. Not a lot, right? Friends, anyone talk about that? Cool. Okay. And the rest, how do you know about Syfe? Oh, KOL, influencer. Anyone heard from some of the influencer? Comparison platform site? Okay. Wow, actually, then we have a lot to talk about offline. All right. Any other questions? If not, then we'll just bring in the networking and we'll stay behind for a while. If you have any personal questions, then come to us, and Morton, our license rep there, and our team around there as well. Yeah, good.
Thank you.